What's the outlook going into the season finale?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get better at things that we've established on how we want to play from start of the season. So there's not much that we're trying to change towards the end of the season. It's honestly just trying to, the little pieces and the little things that can make a difference in the last game of the season, and then obviously heading into playoffs. We know that we're still playing for position, so it's not like we can, rest the last game of the season and make sure we're ready for playoffs. It's actually an important game for us. So, yeah, we're getting ready for a tough road game again against number one team.
It obviously doesn't have the same pressure as a playoff game, but there are elements of it that are playoff-like. I mean, St. Louis is a team that you could theoretically face in the playoffs. You would probably have to play at St. Louis if you were to play them. But how do you approach this game in terms of how much emphasis to put on it?
I mean, the emphasis is there because we know, we can still finish number 2. We can probably finish number 6 if I'm correct. And,
yes.
And that makes a big difference whether you finish number 2 or number 6, not just for the first round, but also for the second round, And then, number 2 gives you a really good chance to play all home games until the end of it. So it's a really important game, but at the same time, like you said, it's not a playoff game, So, yeah, it's... whether it's a playoff game or not, we're going to St. Louis. We want to get a result that will give us the best possibility to finish as high as we can, and that's really the goal. We want to win at St. Louis. Also not just for the standings, but for a statement. They're a number 1 team. They're a team everyone wants to beat, and we're a team that played against them well this season earlier on at home, but this will be a completely different game going over there.
How does that previous meeting affect your confidence going into this game?
I mean, I don't think it affects it that much because it was so early in the season. We're like 30 games past it now or something. And, they've changed, how their results have gone for them as well. Although they were really good from the start of the season, to be honest with you. But, they went through some injuries to their key players. And then, the form drop. But that happened to every team, I think, in the league. So, the break that we didn't play this week, neither they did. Will that affect anything? I'm not sure. I think we have a healthy group of players, which is good, and we're looking forward to it. Honestly, I didn't like the break at the end of the season to have this weekend off. It just kind of felt strange because now you're going to play one game and then it's right into playoffs. So it's kind of unusual, but it's the same for everyone. So we'll have to deal with it.
Albert, you had an opportunity to see the team grow throughout the season. What were some of the highlights in your eyes as you faced challenges with the team having injuries, players getting called out to national teams, and then now, like you said, that break towards the end?
Yeah, I mean, we have players that are capable of playing multiple positions, and I think when injuries did happen to us as a team, we were able to figure it out and to move some guys around and still put up good performances. I think the younger guys who stepped up from the bench, when they got a chance, they took their chance and did really well for themselves and for the team. And I think that's important, going into playoffs. You're not going to win anything with 11, 12 guys, you need the whole group, you need everybody. And I think, we've been doing a pretty good job of it. I would say the start of the season was really good and the mid-spell was not so good. And now towards the end, although there is a lot of ties that we have, we're still not losing, and I think going into playoffs to keep that kind of run going is a good thing, and we'll be looking to extend that.
And from a personal standpoint, for you as a professional, what did this season mean to you?
I mean, it was important, that obviously getting into playoffs is like a step one, it's never enough, you can go into playoffs, get knocked out first round, and then you extended your season for a week than the teams that haven't made it, so it was really worth nothing, But I think especially after last year, the way we missed playoffs, it was important to get in playoffs, which we are now. But I think finishing high up in the standings, second ideally for us would be crucial. We would play more home matches. And I think our fans deserve playoff games here, so that's what we'll be looking to do.
During this unbeaten streak, you and Nico have sort of settled into kind of a platoon where one starts and one comes off the bench and you kind of been rotating. How has that worked from your perspective?
I mean, how has it worked from my perspective? Yeah, we both want to play. Put it that way, we both want to play, and there's been games at the start of the season that we were on the field at the same time. And now towards the end, it was like you said, one played, one came off the bench kind of scenario. So I guess that's the versatility that I said about players can play multiple positions, and we can play together. So I think really it's up to the coach and what he thinks is the best tactics and strategy given the team we're playing, and it's what's best for the team, right? I think.
Going back to St. Louis, Sam Medina is having a breakout season. What do you remember from him here, and are you surprised at all of the season he's had?
I remember him more in trainings, I would say, than in games. He weren't really involved back in the day, and then I do have a couple of good friends in USL that I've played with before, and so I kind of follow on how he did, especially last year, and he did really well, and he kind of took that form into MLS, and he's doing the same thing in St. Louis. So maybe if he had a weekend off this weekend, wouldn't be bad for us. But other than that, credits to him.
Aside from the clear and obvious standings result, how key is it for you guys to get a win in terms of inertia going into the playoffs?
Yeah. I don't know if it's more important to get the win because the playoffs are about to start, or if we need a win to get the 3 points and kind of secure that number 2, number 3 position. I guess it goes for both, and yeah, a good performance, a good result, something to build upon going into playoffs, because playoffs come right away. There's not a week in between the last game of the season and playoffs, so there won't be much time to do something new or try something new, or have much time to kind of, settle in and prepare for playoffs. They'll be right away. So, yeah, a good result, a good way of playing will be key for us.
You don't see 3-game series in soccer in general. Are you a fan? Do you like it? What's your thoughts on this 3-game series?
I honestly like it. I wish it was 3-game series all the way to the final. It's all the other sports play a series, and playoffs mean so much more than the regular season. So I don't know how you do it with so many games already in the regular season. Then going into playoffs, you play a 3-game series with everybody. It just brings more games, but I think we'd all rather play than train, honestly. So I'm down.